Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025 commemorate. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions and commemorations. Today is commemorated as Vijay Divas, remembering the brave soldiers whose courage and sacrifice ensured India has a historic victory in 1971. Sri Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, said that their steadfast resolve and selfless service protected the nation and etched a moment of pride in India's history. The Prime Minister noted that the Vijay Divas stands as a salute to their valor and a reminder of their unmatched spirit, adding that the heroism of the soldiers continues to inspire generation of Indians. On Vijay Divas, we remember the brave soldiers whose courage and sacrifice ensured India had a historic victory. In 1971, their steadfast resolve and selfless service protected our nation and etched a moment of pride in our history. This day stands as a salute to their valor and a reminder of their unmatched spirit. Their heroism continue to inspire generations of Indians. So Vijay Divas, which is celebrated every year on December 16, is when the Indian Armed Forces, including veterans, citizens, and students, scholars pay tribute and to remember the sacrifices of their soldiers. Vijay Divas celebrates India's historic military victory against Pakistan in 1971 war, which also liberated Pakistan, Bangladesh from Pakistan. So Vijay Divas commemorates and celebrates the victory of the Indian Armed Forces in Operation Vijay against the infiltrating Pakistani troops. Rich tributes are given to the martyrs who put their lives on line during the war. Since India and Pakistan partition in the year 1947, there has always been animosity between the two countries for many reasons. One of these reasons was with regards to East Pakistan, these events leading to 1917 war, where what prompted the Indian troops to get involved. Non-Muslims residing in West Pakistan were being targeted and required intervention. The war between Pakistan and India lasted for 13 days, ending on December 16, 1971, and resulting in the liberation of a new country by the name of Bangladesh. It was India's front which made nearly 93,000 Pakistani soldiers surrendered and altered the contours of the map of the world. A proud moment for the Indian Army. This was their first conclusive win after the end of World War II. It is also quite a big day for Bangladesh as it earned status as an independent entity. The day is celebrated in Bangladesh as Bijay Bibas. So military holidays are always observed with great zeal in India. Government officials, the armed forces, and the citizens of India go all out to express their gratitude to the protectors. The 20th anniversary of the victory was taglined by the Indian Army officials with the theme Remember, Rejoice, and Renew. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India during the historic war of 1971 between Pakistan and India. The government of India hosts a quiz to educate participants and honor the sacrifice of Indian troops, glorify your protectors, and rave about them online, tweet about it, discuss it in forums, and celebrate the united front of the internet. The government of India as well as armed forces always put on good show. Be sure to catch it live on your television screens or in person. Pakistan attacked 11 Indian airfields that ignited the war on December 3rd, 1971, which was an unprovoked attack. The only female minister in India's history, Indira Gandhi, was in power during this war. Lasting about 13 days, the 1971 war is among the shortest in the history. The war ended with the creation of Bangladesh as a separate country, and Bangladesh came into being. One of the attacks on Longwala was resisted by 23 Punjab, an infantry company, until the Indian force arrived. The 1971 war gave liberation to Bangladesh. The flag of the Bangladesh was raised for the first time on March 23. A lot of soldiers lost their lives leaving behind their families. Without their valor, India or Bangladesh wouldn't be what it is today. It is most important that their sacrifices of these soldiers are never forgotten. Great wars and their accompanying losses aside, everyone can benefit from learning from history. There are lessons to be learned and prevented. Today is also commemorated as Bangladesh Victory Day in Bangladesh, or Bijay Bibos, or Victory Day of Bangladesh on December 16th. Every year, the occasion commemorates the victory of Bangladesh and Indian forces over Pakistani forces in the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971, during which close to 3 million Bangladeshis were killed and while 10 million were made refugees. Bangladesh celebrates its Independence Day on March 26, but that is when the atrocities of this war began, and it finally ended nearly 9 months later on December 16. This is an important day for a few Asian countries, like Kazakhstan gained independence on this day too. It all started with India's independence back in 1947, which created the dominion of Pakistan. This meant Pakistan now had two separate regions on either side of India, West Pakistan and East Pakistan, which led to friction between two regions. On March 26, 1971, when Bangladesh gained independence, it kick-started the Liberation War. The genocide began with the launch of Operation Searchlight as West Pakistan, now Pakistan, cracked down on East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. The people of Bangladesh then took it upon themselves to partake in the war to gain independence from Pakistan. This gain came at the cost of innumerable losses. Mukti Bahini, a guerrilla resistance movement comprising the Bangladeshi military and civilians, was created to fight the war. This guerrilla war lasted for a total of 9 excruciating months. In November, India took part in the war, supporting Bangladesh shortly after they defeated the Pakistan army, finally ending the war on December 16th when Pakistan surrendered at Ramna Racecourse In Dhaka, one of the most historic moments was the famous blood telegram written by Archer Blood, an American diplomat. The strongly worded letter protested against the atrocities committed during the war. Well, it's worth reading for yourself. If Blood's words, our government has failed to denounce the suppression of democracy. Our government has failed to denounce atrocities. Our government has failed to take forceful measures to protect its citizens while at the same time bending over backward to placate the West Pakistan dominated government and to lessen any deservedly negative international public relations impact against them. Our government has evidenced what many will consider moral bankruptcy, but we have chosen not to intervene even morally on the grounds that the Awami conflict, in which unfortunately the overworked term genocide is applicable, is purely an internal matter of a sovereign state. Private Americans have expressed disgust as we professional civil servants express our dissent with current policy and fervently hope that our true and lasting interest here can be defined and our policies redirected in order to salvage our nation's position as a mortal leader of the free world. Adorned in traditional green and red dress, the people of Bangladesh hold rallies to remind themselves of the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the country. A military parade is held at the National Parade Square in Dhaka, which, with the Prime Minister in attendance, the army marches while the Air Force flies above. The best way is to simply remember the martyrs. People walk to the National Martyrs Memorial, the national monument of Bangladesh, to lay flowers in the memory of martyrs. So the annual award is bestowed upon Bangladeshi citizens on Independence Day and is given to recognize their substantial contribution across the numerous fields. The city of Dhaka is the 10th biggest in the world and comes in fourth among the most densely populated cities in the world. The people of Bangladesh celebrate 6 distinct seasons with different festivals during the summer, monsoon season, autumn, late autumn, winter, and spring. Going with the flow, a lot of population depends on the river water for survival, and Bangladesh is home to somewhere between 230 and 400 rivers, depending on the season. The people of Bangladesh are blessed with longest uninterrupted natural sea beach in the world, which runs for an impressive 75 miles south of Cox's Bazar. Naturally, the war became a topic of great importance in Bangladeshi culture, influencing cinema, literature, history, the media, and the arts, an unforgettable victory. The day is also commemorated across India as Vijay Divas to honor not just the Bangladeshi but also Indian martyrs who sacrificed themselves in the war. India's support was instrumental in Bangladesh's victory over Pakistan. Bangladesh may have gained independence in March, but that was just the beginning of their horror story. The ordeal ended nearly 9 months later on Victory Day. Most United Nations members were quick to recognize the Bangladesh within months of its true independence. Today is also commemorated as Kazakhstan Independence Day. Since 1991 has naturally been its Independence Day celebrated on December 16. What makes it even bigger is the fact that it is often celebrated across 2 days, December 16th and 17th. Not just that, if December 16th falls on a weekend, the following Monday is considered a holiday. The Kazakhs set up yurts, indulge in delicacies, and dance the night way to folk music. They also dress up in traditional fashion for the ceremony at Ak Orda Presidential Palace. They show how to celebrate. Situated on the Eurasian steppe, Kazakhstan is the biggest country in the region. As a result, it has been a melting pot of cultures, peoples, empires, and more. Neanderthals and their ancestors were also present in the central Kazakhstan hundreds of thousands of years after centuries of changes in weather, terrain, and rulers. Kazakhstan has turned out to be a beautiful country we know today. It's a shame that it was only a couple of decades ago that the nation gained independence. It happened in the year 1991, hoping to maintain unity within the Soviet Union. A referendum that March resulted in Kazakhstan voting 95% in favor of forming a new union of sovereign states. In August, communists of the Soviet Union made a failed attempt, the infamous August coup, to take control of the country from Mikhail Gorbachev, the Soviet Union president at that time. Eventually, the Supreme Soviet or Supreme Council of Kazakhstan then passed the constitutional independence law of the Republic of Kazakhstan in December, finally declaring independence. So Kazakhstan was the last of the Soviet states to declare its independence, even though the Soviet Union collapsed rather swiftly. Soon after this, the Alma-Ata Protocol was put in place to form the Commonwealth of Independent States. So this independence was marked by the era of President Nursultan Nazarbayev, who established not only a new capital, but also a new two-house parliamentary system. He would rule the newly independent Kazakhstan for nearly 3 decades. Today is also commemorated as Bahrain National Day on 16th and 17th December, the two designated days to celebrate the gem that is this is Island Kingdom. In 1971, Bahrain acquired independence after a long era of British rule. It would be the beginning of a prosperous and peaceful chapter. But Bahrain, a success story scripted for and by Bahrainians. Naturally, it's a day that very close to every Bahraini's heart. It is a public holiday when schools and virtually all businesses are closed. The Kingdom of Bahrain is an island nation in the Persian Gulf. Bahrain comprises a beautiful archipelago of 50 natural islands and 33 artificial ones, together with several other Arabian Gulf territories. The island was a British protectorate in the 1960s. According to the Protectorate Treaty, the British would offer protection to Bahrain in the event of attacks by sea. Bahrain was forbidden to build an international relations with any other nations without the consent of Britain. The agreement effectively allowed Britain indirect but near absolute control over the island nation. World War II brought sweeping changes to the global landscape, and Bahrain was no exception. Discontent over British rule had been simmering for a while but would soon tip over. Numerous protests took place, conflict and riots became more commonplace. On August 15, 1971, the two countries finally signed in an agreement that freed Bahrain from being a British protectorate. 4 months later, Britain left and Bahrain became an independent country. Today is also commemorated as Day of Reconciliation in South Africa. on December 16th. The apartheid was a racial segregation system that existed throughout South America and South Africa as part of legislation forwarded by the National Party in 1994 to heal and bridge the gap between the people living in South Africa. This dedicated day was introduced. The Day of Reconciliation has helped bring harmony to a region still after decades of injustice. Following the long history of a nation still carrying the marks of colonialism to this day and the accompanying racism which existed due to this practice, the Day of Reconciliation is a breath of fresh air. Racial exclusion has been a harsh reality in South Africa ever since the rule of a Dutch Empire in 1652. There was no change in the way things were practiced by the time the British took over the country in 1795. Matters worsened in 1950 when the political representation of non-white people was abolished. While this further entrenched the racial segregation policies, a series of violent rebellions was sparked and an embargo on trade against the country took place. December 16th was chosen for the Day of Reconciliation due to its importance of both the African and Afrikaner people. It was a significant day for Africans as one of the most important protests against racial discrimination had taken place in the year 1910. For the people of Afrikaner, the date also marks the Day of Convent, a religious day observing the Bootrekker victory against the Zulus in the Battle of Blood in 1838. The Spear of the Nation, the Umkhonto we Sizwe, as it is known in South Africa, was established. Today is also commemorated as National Chocolate Covered Anything Day in US. The BBQ potato chips, strawberries, and ants have in common, and all three these things and thousands of others could all be considered key ingredients in a creative culinary confection because on December 16th, maybe you are into basics like chocolate covered fruit or cookies, but you rarely take the time to dip these ingredients. Or perhaps you are a bit more adventurous and are looking to try out a new chocolate in cash dish. Today is also commemorated as Stupid Toy Day in US on December 16th every year. Mr. Potato Head, Beanie Babies, Pet Rock, and Tamagotchis. We all had our fair share of stupid childhood toys. It is a comical to think about their purpose now, but we all are guilty of playing with them each night till our eyes gave out. And Stupid Toy Day is more than just a day of remembrance. For toys, it is an ode to the idiosyncrasies of our childhood and how the stuff that now seems stupid to us was once something we guarded with our lives. Climb up the attic and look for the stupid toy as we celebrate the harmless frolic of our childhood on this fun holiday. Toys are a formidable part of a kid's childhood, although their importance cannot be overstated. We simply wish they were a little less stupid. On December 16th, we revisit the times in our lives when we all had a teenaged collection of toys, each with their own terrible and ear-shattering voices. These loud, unattractive, sticky, and straight-up dangerous toys have shaped us into the adults that we are today. It is often said that the simplification of a toy is directly responsible for its stupidity, but we disagree. Kids deserve to enjoy toys that are suitable to their age and have a logical ground. Surely there is a better way to grab a child's attention that had them a bowl of disgusting slime. Inclusivity and diversity are other points of contention that must be brought into conservation as a. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining in today's commemorations and celebrations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been shared in the form of polls before leaving the platform. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night. And tomorrow we are having a webinar on careers in clinical psychology at 11 a.m. on the same platform. So you can share the joining link and registration form within your circle who are looking for career opportunities in clinical psychology. They can register and join the session and clarify their doubts and get more information on careers in clinical psychology. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.